Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube podcast. Appreciate you guys for being here. Up and foremost, do me a huge favor, smack the like button here on your way in. And just by the comments alone, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think you guys are happy about what Jonathan Gannon just said probably about 20 or 30 minutes ago, but we're here to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's open up the therapy session because I know there's some people that were kind of excited to potentially see Jacoby Brissett, but looking at the title here, I think there's a lot of people that are already upset looking at the chat here. But whether whatever the situation might be, we're going to have to wait a little longer to figure out who's going to be QB1 heading into week 6. At the end of the day, that is going to be what we're going to have to wait forward to. So let me just do a quick shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got John, we got Juan, we got Blazing, we got Arturo, Michael. Who else is up here? Let me see here. Milo, what's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost. Smack the like button here on your way in. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We are on the road to 18K. Cannot do it without you guys. So appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost. But yes, Jonathan Gannon just took it to the media. And he just said that everybody will be at practice today, with the exception of Darius Robinson, who has already been ruled out. But Kyler Murray is now back in practice. Now, it seems like with all the reports that I'm seeing out there, it looks like he's playing or practicing in a limited fashion. So I don't really know exactly how to really feel about it, if he's going to go, if he's not going to go. There's a lot of situations kind of up in the air. Now, I do have this on my thumbnail. Are we playing mind games? You also got to keep in mind there might be a realistic situation here that Jonathan Gannon is potentially playing mind games here. Potentially, right? So for the people out there that want to see Jacoby Brissett, if you think that he gives you a better chance to win over Kyler, I mean, I'm not there personally. I don't mind if Kyler Murray plays, but I'm not going to lie to you. Seeing Jacoby Brissett would have added a level of intrigue on an offense that's been very, very stagnant for a very long time, right? And I'm talking about for the last 3 weeks, or hell, the last 5 weeks, this offense has been very, very stagnant. So all I care about, all I want to see is the Arizona Cardinals win. But like I said last night on our members-only live stream, I don't know if I really have faith, regardless of who's going to be playing in this game, whether it's Jacoby or Kyler. I don't know if the Cardinals are going to win this game, if I'm going to be real with you. So I think we're going to find out here pretty soon. Now, a couple different things that we need to look out for, right? If Kyler Murray is active, he could still very well ride the bench. You got to keep that in mind as well, as that as a possibility. If Kyler Murray isn't fully healthy, do the Cardinals just rule him out? Or do they have him as QB2 because he's not fully healthy? You also got to keep in mind the Cardinals only have 2 quarterbacks on this depth chart. One thing that they can do is obviously rule out Kyler and then elevate their practice squad guy, and what is it? Keaton Slovis or Slovin, whatever his name is. That's an option that the Arizona Cardinals can do. Or they can say, hey, you're not fully healthy, but we do think that if something goes awry, you can be that quarterback number 2 for the Cardinals, right? And then we do see Jacoby there. I don't know. This just feels a little weird to me. Now, I really do wish that our head coach was not like this. Seriously, like I really wish he wasn't like this, and he was like because like the reason why he does this is because there's some sort of little advantage that he feels like he's going to get. There's some sort of advantage that he feels like he's going to get over the opposing team. I mean, his mind games haven't really been working because his record is not great in terms of being the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, but I almost promise you that's one of the main reasons why he's doing this, because of mind games. Whether he knows Kyler Murray is going to be a go or not, this is mind games. Mind games 101, in my personal opinion. I wish he just told us straight up Kyler Murray's practicing and He's going to be the starter. I wish he did, but of course, it's always we'll wait and see. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. We'll see by the end of the week. Well, this is the end of the week. This is Friday. We're sitting here on Friday right now. But like I said, if he feels like there's some sort of little advantage going to him, then I guess more power to him at the end of the day. But I don't know if any Cardinal fans right now even have any optimism about this team in general, whether it's Jacoby or Kyler at the helm. I don't know if anybody's going to have any optimism. But as of right now, the news that we do know is that Kyler Murray is going back to practice today after missing Wednesday and missing Thursday. He's back. Now, I did see a report out there saying that he's going to be playing an hour or limited for an hour. So I don't 100% know exactly like how that's going to shake out. Now, another thing that I'm really kind of interested to look forward to is that there is going to be a press conference from the quarterback that needs to happen per the NFL regulations or per the NFL policies. You need to have a quarterback speak in a press conference sometime this week. The Cardinals kept pushing it back. They pushed it back to Thursday when Kyler Murray always speaks on Wednesday. They pushed it back to Thursday, and now they're pushing it back today. So my question here is, who is going to speak? Who's going to be speaking on the podium? Is it Kyler? Potentially. If Kyler Murray does speak, then there does bring a level of, okay, he might be playing, right? He might be playing after all. Let me see here if there's any updates. I do see something here from Underdog NFL, which they're usually pretty good in, providing the news that's already been reported by like Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter. They ended up coming out here and said Kyler Murray will start week 6 barring any setbacks. I don't know any reporter saying that Kyler Murray is going to start. I don't know any reporter out there that he's going to start barring any setbacks. Um, Tyler Drake of Arizona Sports ended up retweeting or reposting that specific post, and he ended up saying this: Jonathan Gannon today on Kyler Murray and other injured Cardinals, not named Darius Robinson, who has been ruled out. So the only one that's been ruled out is Darius Robinson right now. And this is what this is what Jonathan Gannon said, quote, "We will see how it goes today moving forward. They're all making progress, and we'll see how it goes," end quote. What does Jonathan Gannon need to see out of Kyler Murray at practice? Have a good day. And that's all he said. Quote, have a good day. End quote. That's what Jonathan Gannon ended up saying. So I don't know exactly, like, this feels like Mind Games 101 to me. That's what it feels like. And then the other side of the coin, who's going to be speaking? Who's going to be speaking in the QB presser, right? Who's going to be speaking in the QB presser? I don't know. So a lot of things to still look forward to. Like I said, I wish that we just kind of got everything clarified already. I just wish they just told us, and so we don't have to really kind of play this game back and forth. I really hope that we were in that situation, but unfortunately, Jonathan Gannon isn't that guy. He's always going to try to keep some sort of advantage in his side. Let me take a look here. I'm trying to see if there's anything out there about who's going to be speaking at the presser. Yeah, even my guy Tyler Drake, I ended up asking him who's going to be speaking at the presser. He's not sure yet. Huh? That's interesting. See, and that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I don't know why I don't know why this is one of the things that does frustrate me about JG. This is one of the things that does frustrate me about Jonathan Gannon. Just tell us. I mean, what's the big deal? Like, what's the big deal? Like, obviously, this is one of those things that he's trying to keep some sort of advantage to himself, right? So I guess I don't fault him that much. But at some point, you just gotta be upfront. Like, just be upfront. Who's gonna be it? Is it Kyler? Okay, well, let's prepare for a world that Kyler Murray is gonna be playing. I still do think that there is a slight chance that Jacoby's gonna be coming in. I still do. Because I did see a report going out there saying that Kyler Murray might be limited this game or this practice. He might be limited. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of up in the air right now. It's a lot of up in the air. James in the chat says it might be a game time decision. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be. Realistically, it might be. John says Walter Nolan isn't coming back until after the bye week. That's what it feels like, anyways. I'm not even worried about Walter Nolan anymore, to be honest with you. It almost kind of feels like it's fatigue already. It's like a conversation that we're kind of already kind of talking about and we're beating with the dead horse, right? Like, that's exactly the same thing how I felt about Darius Robinson last year. Like, oh, he's coming back. Oh, he's not coming back. Oh, he's coming back again, right? That type of situation. Like, I'm kind of getting to the point where, like, I just need somebody to let me know when they're coming back or when do they expected them to come back. None of this BS, oh, maybe, sort of, coulda, woulda type of situation. Whatever. It feels like the Darius Robinson situation all over again. That's what it feels like. John on the side, I 100% agree. The secrecy wouldn't be frustrated if we were actually winning. Facts. How else? Perfectly said. Perfectly said here. The secrecy wouldn't be frustrating if we were actually winning. Exactly. It's so odd. It's so odd. Just let us know. Is it K1? Okay, well, let's prepare for a world for Kyler Murray. Is it Jacoby? Okay, well, let's prepare for a world for Jacoby. So I don't know. I don't know. All we know right now is Kyler Murray is back in practice today. That's what we do know right now. Kyler Murray is back in practice. I saw a couple reports that he's limited, but we need to make sure that we see the injury report first. Once we see the injury report, we'll figure out, is he limited, is he not? Of course, you can go based off reports if you want, but the injury report is really what's going to let us know, is he limited or is he not limited, right? It was trending that we might have something intriguing to see heading into week 6, but now that seems to kind of been taken away. Slim MC in the chat says, I think K1 is the guy for another organization. I mean, regardless, right now, I know I had a conversation with a few different people that's jumped on the podcast to talk about, should the Kyler Murray be traded or should he not be traded? Right now, it's just a conversation to be had right now, right? Because when you're looking a little ahead of your schedule, you got the Colts, the Green Bay Packers, and the Dallas Cowboys. Realistically, once we're done with those 3 games, we're going to figure out what the 2025 Arizona Cardinals are. Realistically, once those 3 games are done, we're really going to find out who this 2025 Arizona Cardinals team is. Right now, he's still the QB right now. Right now, he's still the quarterback. So it's a lot to kind of it's a lot of up in the air right now. It's a lot of up in the air. Scott Zilla says, "Happy Friday, everyone. You appreciate you. Thank you so very much." I don't know, says, I've seen Dart for 2 games, and no, he's better than Kyle. Dart looks really good, man. Jackson Dart looks really, really good. JMR says, I agree. I think K1 thinks he will be better off somewhere. I mean, here's the thing, right? If K1 comes out and says he doesn't want to be a Cardinal anymore, then we know what to do at that very moment. Then we know what to do, right? But as of right now, everything that these guys are saying is that everything is really good. Everything's good in the hood right now, right? That's what we're hearing so far. Everything's good. So, per Jonathan Gannon, in order for Kyler Murray to start on Sunday, he needs to see Kyler Murray have a good practice, quote unquote, good practice. Don't know really what that means, but that's what he's saying. He needs to see him have a good practice. Trying to see if there's anything else on here right now. Doesn't seem like anybody knows who's going to be at the presser or who's going to be speaking at the quarterback presser. So a lot of unknown. A lot of unknown right now is what it seems like. A lot of unknown. Eddie in the chat says, everyone keeps saying Kyler will turn out like Darnold, but what has Darnold actually done? He's 0-1 in the playoffs and played like SHIT. I mean, Darnold had a really good season with OKC. OKC, good God. KOC. OKC is Oklahoma. KOC. Kevin O'Connell. He played really good with them. He really did. And right now, they're 3-2 with the Seahawks? I mean, call it what you want. Darnold has done enough to at least put him in conversation to see, hey, did he revive his career? Call it what you want, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to be long term. What we do know is that he did get the bag, and good for him. But as of right now, we don't know, right? We don't know. But we'll see. Here we go. First super chat of the day. We got Propa in the chat. What's up, Propa? Can you rank teams in division you dislike the most? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. It's so tough. I would probably say LA, San Fran, Seahawks. That probably it's kind of a toss up. It's kind of a toss up because and it also kind of varies too to who's the guy that was been dominant for a long time in our division, right? So because LA has been the team that's been the Super Bowl the last and has won the last Super Bowl, they're on the hate list right now. So I probably would say LA, San Fran, because they're at the top of the division right now, and then the Seahawks. But I mean, they're all hated. They're all hated right now. They're all hated. Yeah, not OKC. KOC. I apologize. That's on me. Who would we trade Kyler for? I mean, we don't trade anybody. It's picks. If the Cardinals did that, it's picks. That's all. That's all you're looking for. If the Cardinals decide to do it, right now, of course, right now, it does not seem like we have a clear understanding what this organization wants to do, right? It doesn't seem like there's a clear understanding of where it is, right? One thing that we do know, or at least what I'm seeing here, is that Kyler Murray is going to be quote unquote limited. If he's limited on a Friday, I don't know. I don't know what the decision the Cardinals are going to go. If they elevate Keaton Slovis, or Slovis, whatever the heck his name is, our backup, our practice squad QB, then we know it's Jacoby. Then we know it's Jacoby. It's just, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things that it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating. But as of right now, what we know is that Kyler Murray is back in practice after missing Wednesday and Thursday. That's what we do know right now. Let's trade him for Rodgers. Every team seems to be getting him for at least 1 year. No, I'm good. If the Cardinals do decide to do it, I'm not even looking for players back. Unless it's like a player that we really like and is really undervalued, I'm just looking for picks back. So we can try to see if the Cardinals need to trade up, or maybe if they get 2 first-round picks, maybe they can go ahead and, get 2 dynamite players in the first round. And I know it didn't work out for us in this last because Darius Robinson's not looking that great. I still do like, MHJ. I think he's looking really, really good and is learning on those things that he needs to learn on. But if the Cardinals decided to do it, it's picks for me. That's what I'm looking for more than anything. Chill. What's up, Chill? K1 for the win. I don't know. I don't know if like any of these guys, if it's Jacoby or Kyler, I don't know if anybody's gonna beat the Colts. Like, I could be wrong, right? We just saw the Giants take down the Eagles on Thursday Night Football, right? We just saw the 49ers take down the Rams on Thursday Night Football, right? So we see things like that happen when the 49ers were absolutely decimated with injuries. So we see it happen, time in and time again. It's just we don't know, right? So I don't know. Chill in the chat says, I do not want to see Jacoby start. That's not what we're here for. Well, I mean, right now, quarterback 1 for this team, if Kyler's healthy, is Kyler Murray. Right now, right? Right now, that is what Jonathan Gannon and everybody's been preaching, that is their guy, that they're 110% backing. So let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. But you also do not want to throw him out there if he's not fully 100%. Because what if he does re-injure his foot, right? And then we're kind of back in the same cycle, but instead of having some sort of quarterback controversy or quarterback competition, then we're just stuck with Jacoby. You know what I mean? So you don't want that either on the other side of the coin as well. So the Cardinals need to play this very, very carefully. If Kyler Murray is 100% and he can go, let him play. That's fine. Let him play. But if he's not, you might have to re-second guess what you're planning to do. You might have to second guess what you're planning to do. At least that's the way I look at it. But Jonathan Gannon and Monty Osiford in this regime do what they want to do, right? It's going to be their decision at the end of the day. Blazing in the chat says, "Oh, we could have been with what we could have been with Cam Scadaboo." Yeah, man, the whole Cam Scadaboo situation. He went off yesterday. And I know I got ASU fans a little upset because they really wanted the Cardinals to get Cam Scadaboo. Hindsight really can be a fickle son of a SOB. It really can, man. Hindsight can really do that. But like, I don't think the Cardinals were thinking that way. Now, I have been critical on the Cardinals organization to start thinking that way more, to be like, what is the future, right? We all know that James Conner was not going to be the future for the next 2 or 3 years. We all knew that, right? So I would have loved the Cardinals to plan for the future and getting a guy that showed out really well in college. I would have, right? And that's why I was targeting a 3rd or 4th round pick for him. I wouldn't be mad if the Cardinals did it. But I also don't blame them on the other side of the coin for not going that direction, because they did see Trey Benson as the heir apparent. But now we're seeing Trey Benson back-to-back years with on IR. We got a serious problem with Trey Benson. Now we got to start looking elsewhere, potentially bringing in somebody, because this guy can't stay healthy. At least that's what we're seeing with a small sample size right now, right? He can't stay healthy. So, yeah, the whole situation with Cam Scadaboo, it's very, very wherever on the side of the coin you might land is where you're going to land, right? It is what it is. Oh, it seems like there is some news. It seems like there is some news here coming out, and it has to do with their punter. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some breaking news that the Arizona Cardinals are signing punter Pat O'Donnell to the active roster. They're signing punter Pat O'Donnell to the active roster. So Blake Gillikin's back injury definitely seems to be... That sucks. Blake Gillikin was having a really, really good season. Really, really good season. So as of right now, what we know is that most likely Blake Gillikin won't go, because the Cardinals are just signing Pat O'Donnell to their active roster. So I know we got my guy saying who. That's a good question. I don't know. It's a punter. It's a punter. Let me see who this guy is. 34 years old. Punter for the Bears, the Packers, the Falcons, and then the 49ers in 2024. Looks like a journeyman. That's what it looks like. So there's that. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Kickers are top point scorers. So there's that. I mean, well, Ryland is still a go. Great. Another injury. Yep. Agree. Trust Pat more than K1. Put him in. Who's Pat? Who's Pat? Oh, you're talking about Pat O'Donnell? Oh, okay. I just talked about Pat. Are you talking about Pat O'Donnell? You trust him more than Kyler Murray? Yeesh. West in the chat says the Saints are the only other team I can think of that needs a QB. Trade QB to Nola, to the Saints. I mean, there's the Saints. There is the Vikings, which with that team, I think anybody can look. I mean, hell, Sam Darnold looked really good with the Vikings, right? What else is another team that could potentially use a quarterback? The Browns. I don't know if they're fully sold on... they kind of have... Actually, they have Deshaun still on the payroll. Never mind. So that's why they're rolling with Gabriel, and they got this whole quarterback controversy with... not quarterback controversy, but Shador at number 2. So who else is another team that could potentially... Yeah, the Saints is a good one. Let's see. Raiders just got Geno. Dolphins have Tua, and they're paying him a lot of money. The Jets is another one. The Jets might be one. But the Jets probably aren't in a situation where they're trying to like win right now. So like, why would they go for it, right? Why would they go for it? Yeah, there's not a lot of options. There really isn't. There may be like 3 or 4 teams, if that. And I think more realistic maybe might be 2. Yeah. Robert and Chess, they just paid Tua, so I don't think there's a way that happens. The Bengals can use can use a quarterback. They have Burrow under contract. There's no way that you're going to be paying 2 top tier quarterbacks that amount of money. And I don't think they even have the money. And that's the reason why it took them as long as they did to pay T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson. They don't have a lot of cap to go around. They don't. So I don't see that happening. JMR said, I just want to see something different at QB to see if we can get us a win. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're all kind of. I was intrigued with the Jacoby Brissett situation. I'm not going to lie. I was very intrigued to see if he was going to be able to get this going. And there is still a slight chance. Does his chances go down? It does. When Kyler Murray goes back to practice, it does go down 100%, right? Because like I said before, he's QB1 right now on this roster. And that is what Jonathan Gannon and Pet Singh has all planted their stake in it, right? He's QB1 right now for them. So, however you want to shake it, As of right now, he's back in practice. I did see he's limited somewhere, but I want to wait for the injury report to come out to really kind of find out if he's limited. Then where do we go from there? He does have a walkthrough tomorrow, and there's a travel day tomorrow. And then the Cardinals have the very early game. They have the very, very early game on Sunday. 10 a.m. start our time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So there's that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the Steelers is a good one. I mean, they have Aaron Rodgers. He's not the long-term solution over there. Yeah, Steelers is a good one. Forgot about them. Yeah, it's not a bad one there. We should try to hire Mike McCarthy. I mean, right now, it's Gannon right now, right? I don't want to put my mindset that the Cardinals are going to be moving off or actually think about other coaches when right now it's set on set, right? Like, it is what it is at this very moment. Kyler is day to day. Then again, aren't we all? Yeah, true. Yeah, true. So he's back. That's what we know right now. He's back. Let's do this. Let me just do a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube, and we're going to continue with this conversation. Right now. Let me just give a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. The guys that are keeping the lights on, that's going to be none other than Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, and fantasy points, and more for up to 100 times the payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF, and you can get up to a $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use. Everything will be in the description below. And not just that, ladies and gentlemen, Sleeper does provide you another thing that you can put on top of what we just talked about, another deal that you can basically combine them with, and that is going to be they'll give you a free $20 entry fee, no deposit needed if you use promo code AZSF upon using their app. Make sure to check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. Check out Sleeper. All right, let's keep this going, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro in the chat says, my birthday is Sunday. All I want is a Cardinals win, but I ain't holding out hope. Yeah, man. That's the unfortunate beast right now, man. That's the unfortunate beast of what we're all kind of living right now. I don't know if anybody has confidence that the Cardinals are going to be able to win this game with Kyler or without Kyler. So it's going to be very interesting. Now, I could be wrong, right? Cardinals can somehow can come up, light bulbs can start turning on. But as of right now, it doesn't seem very, very reassuring that we're going to be beating a team that's putting up points like nobody's business, right? That's what I'm worried about. Javier in the chat says 2-5. Do you fire Gannon? Let's just feel it the rest of the season. We're underdogs. Yeah, it's brutal, man. It's brutal. Chris F in the chat says Drew Petzing needs to step out of his comfort zone and have the ball thrown down the field. Yeah, something different needs to change for sure. 100%. 100%. 100%. El Gallo, what's up, man? If Jacoby goes crazy this game, should he be playing more over Kyler Murray? That's the thing, too, right? That I had so many questions about this. We don't cross this bridge until we see it, right? We don't cross this bridge until we see it because we don't know. We don't know what Jacoby Brissett is going to do if he gets the starts. One thing I will say is that right now, it's still as unknown as it is before we knew Kyler Murray was practicing on Friday, right? It's still up in the air right now. We don't know. We truly do not know who's going to be playing here in week 6 for the Cardinals at quarterback. We don't know. We don't know. Dave in the chat says, Mike, are you completely out on Kyler? I know Petzing's firing wouldn't fix all the problems, but bringing in a new QB would play in this scheme. That can't provide the receivers, is setting a new guy up for failure. To me, see, and I think that's where people get confused, right? That's where people get confused. I'm not saying you don't get rid of Petzing, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if the point is where the Cardinals do decide to scrap it, everybody goes. That's where I'm talking. That's where I'm coming from. I don't want to live in a world where we're blaming Petzing so much that we're willing to do another year with a brand new scheme and a brand new set of excuses out there. You get what I mean? So I'm not saying you get rid of Kyler, but you keep Petzing. No, if this season goes awry, which most likely it will, because let's be real, Jacoby Brissett, as much as I want to believe in the feel good story, as much as I want to believe in the underdog story, that's not what we've been treated to. Like, that's not something that Cardinals organization has done in the past. Now, things can change, things can be positive. That's true. But I'm not coming out here saying that the Cardinals need to pick Petzing over Kyler. No. My thing is that I don't want to bring another level of excuses coming around with the whole situation if you get rid of Petzing, because it's not all Petzing's fault, is what I'm saying. If you get rid of Petzing, cool. That's awesome. That's it. I want to start over, is where I'm coming from. That's where I'm coming from. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not saying put somebody else in a position to where you can't get MHJ the ball more than 6, 7, 8 times, right? Trey McBride getting the ball 6, 7, 8, or even play designs. No, Petzing's got some serious fault too. He absolutely does. But I don't want to start back in the vicious cycle of another OC, another year of learning scheme, getting his footwork back right. I just, there's so many problems with this offense, and it's not just Petzing. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that clarifies. That might have been a little confusing for some people that think that, oh, I want to keep Petzing here. Hell no, I don't want to keep Petzing here. But if we do start over, we're starting off from scratch. That's where I'm coming from. Dave with the super sticker. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the 99-cent donation. Yes, I had to clarify. I know some people probably think I want to keep Petzing. No, I don't. I'm just saying it's not all his fault. That's all I'm saying. Chris F in the chat says, let's be real, Kyler is back at practice because he feels the pressure. If Jacoby plays Sunday and wins, then he knows it's time for him to look for a new home elsewhere. Here's the thing, right? When it comes down to the quarterback competition, I'm not going to come out here and try to sell you guys a bag of goods and say that Jacoby Brissett is leaps and bounds better than Kyler, because I truly don't know. I don't know what it is. I know Kyler Murray has been a starting quarterback in the NFL. That's one thing I know for his entirety of his career. One thing that I do know is that Jacoby Brissett, when he came here, was the best backup quarterback that Kyler has ever had. And I'm not saying he's the best starter, but best backup quarterback. I said this before coming into the season. He can win you a game or two if needed, if Kyler Murray needs to sit. But that's kind of where my mindset goes. Can I be shocked? Can I be surprised that he brings a level of, oh man, let's go? Yeah, it can be, because at the end of the day, I want my Arizona Cardinals to win. That's what I'm looking forward more than anything in the world. But then there's also the situation that we're landing ourselves in of like, okay, well, there's a lot more gray area because Jacoby Brissett isn't your future, right? Jacoby Brissett is a bridge quarterback, a backup quarterback, and that's what he will be. But am I down for a feel good story? Of course I'm down for a feel good story, but it just never happens to us, unfortunately. He is exactly. He is exactly. He isn't, and that's what I'm trying to get across. He isn't, right. But also, too, you can be a quarterback that isn't better than another quarterback, but also be better in a specific scheme, right? So this scheme, what we're seeing right now with the conservative approach here from Drew Petzing, it definitely seems like the quarterback isn't a big factor. The ball needs to go where the ball needs to go. That's one thing that they preach all the time. Maybe if you get a quarterback that can see open receivers, then the ball needs to go where the ball needs to go, right? So Jacoby isn't a better quarterback than Kyler, but the big question mark out there is he fit better in this scheme, right? That's the big question mark out there. Well, we're not going to know. Well, at least as of right now, it doesn't seem like we're going to know. We would look horrendous under Brissett. Yeah, how do you know that? Like, that's the question, right? We're only going based off of what we've seen from Brissett from his previous years, right? Like I said, the quarterback in the system doesn't need to play superhero, right? The quarterback in the system doesn't need to be the MVP of the NFL. But what I'm saying is that sometimes when you get a guy that knows the system very well and can read defensive plays pre-snap and can audible, do things the way that he wants to do things, the way he sees the defense, that quarterback could potentially move the ball down the field. That's all I'm saying. JMR, what's up, man? Could be wrong, though never know. Storylines, Mac Jones took over for Purdy and is going off. Ding, 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 ding. Perfect example. Tom Brady, Bledsoe, same thing, right? I'm pretty sure everybody was talking about Tom Brady is never going to do anything. And I'm not going to come out. I'm not saying Jacoby Brissett is Tom Brady, okay? So for people out there saying Jacoby Brissett isn't Tom Brady, that's not what I'm saying. But sometimes people just need an opportunity, right? And yes, Jacoby Brissett has had many opportunities and he's been a backup quarterback for the entirety of his career, for the most part. But sometimes some quarterbacks can be better in a system. I don't know. We're never going to know. Let's go with Fausto. What's up, Fausto? Yes, Jacoby Brissett is better fit for the team. We already look bad with K1. What we have to lose games? We don't know, right? We don't know. I think, honestly, if I'm going to be real with you, what I've been seeing from this chat and what I've been seeing through social media is that the moment that I said it's trending that Jacoby Brissett might be getting the start, there was a lot of support for Jacoby Brissett. So without people coming out and saying, oh, yes, let's go, Jacoby, there was a lot of intrigue in this game going into week 6 because there was a new quarterback, completely different play, right? Play style in terms of what he does. So there was a lot of intrigue. Now it's going to be week 6 and it's still up in the air. We don't know. It's 50-50 at this very moment. No, maybe 75-25 now, right? Kyler Murray coming back to practice is a good thing because he's your QB1. But what have we learned in the last 5 weeks? This offense can't do anything. That's what we've learned. So there's that. BB Boy Riz says the problem is Petzing. It came from the Browns organization that totally destroyed Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham when he was wide open, and Odell's dad had to get the coach for connection problems. It's not all Petzing. It's not all Petzing. It's not all Petzing. Petzing's got blame. It's not all Petzing. Nobody's calling Kyler Murray the problem. People are calling Kyler Murray part of the problem. There's a difference. And I don't think people quite understand that. It's like when people are saying criticizing things or feedback to help your game out, people call that hate. That's not hate. It's one thing that you should be better at is doing this, especially when you're getting paid $45+ million to be a quarterback. We expect you to win games like the Tennessee Titans. That's what we expect. You're $45+ million. That's what you do. You're the X factor. You're taking apart, 18-19% of the cap space. We expect you to be that difference maker, to beat a team like the Tennessee Titans when their quarterback came out and says, to keep it a buck, we're ass. We expect you as a quarterback that's getting paid that much and taking that much amount of cap space to be the difference maker. And as of right now, within the last 3 games. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to do that. Is it all his fault? No, it's not. Right? It's not. But at the other side of the coin, we need you to win those games for us. We need you to see all those games. 99% is the play calling. Okay. All right. So for the guys out there that are telling me 99% of it's play calling, right? Okay. Let's live in that world. It's 99% of the play calling. Okay. All right. Let's live in that world. Let's live in that world, ladies and gentlemen. It's 99% of the play call, you guys say, right? Okay. So let's peep this play, right? Let's peep this play. And this is probably the 3rd time I'm showing it because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it don't matter how many times you can take a horse to the water. You can't make it drink it, right? You cannot make the horse drink the water. I've showed this play so many different times on this channel, but I'm going to show it again. Because this is the perfect example of the glitchiness of what, unfortunately, Kyler Murray is, right? Let's show the play. So you say 99%. That's big, right? 99% is big. So you're coming out here and telling me that 99% is Petzing, and it's just a play call. Okay, well, explain this to me. Because this right here, out of 67, 64 plays that happened this last week, you tell me here. Let's watch this play together, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's do this right now. And this is going to be for my guy, BB Boy Riz, and who was the other guy here in the chat that were saying it's all okay, and Scottzilla. All right, here we go. You explain to me here, okay? Let's watch this play together. Ball snapped. Now we're gonna count. We're gonna go back to counting, okay? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Boom! Kyler Murray runs out. He made this guy miss. Awesome. You look great, right? Look on this side of the field. Look at these 2 players right here completely wide open. Now, Kyler Murray's under duress, right? What is Kyler Murray going to do? He's going to make a spectacular play. Goes back into bounce back out, throws the ball right there. That's 99% on Drew. That's 99% on Drew, huh? That's 99% on Drew. Look at these 2 guys completely wide open. And for the people out there saying he's got 2 seconds, 2 seconds in the pocket. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. 4 seconds. You know how many quarterbacks would love the idea that you have that much time in the pocket? That's 4 seconds. People would only love to dream of the idea that that's going to be what it is, right? So you tell me, BB Boy Riz, you tell me, my other guy in the chat, I think it was Scottzilla. This is 99%, right? 99%. It's on Drew, right? Play calling. It's play calling, Mike. It's play calling. Look at these 2 guys completely wide open. Look at that. He throws the ball and gets a, what's it called? Intentional grounding. All right. Let's look at this play from this angle, right? Okay. Let's look at this play here. Same play, different angle, right? This is the back view. Okay. Look at this pocket. Now, I'm not saying step up here yet, right? Look at this pocket. This pocket is a pocket, an NFL pocket that you could potentially step up. You get heat from number 98. Okay, I get it. You're feeling pressure, right? You're feeling pressure right here. Step up into the pocket and deliver the ball to right there. Look at this. This is a black uniform. This is guy completely wide open right here. There ain't nobody next to him. Look at that. Okay, you feel pressure. Step up to the pocket. No. What does Kyler Murray do? Panics, gets out of the pocket, completely goes to backyard football, and the rest is history from there. Look at this. This is a game of inches, ladies and gentlemen. A game of inches. Look at that. Where are you throwing the ball to? Who makes a mistake like that? We saw a play like that very similar to the Rams game. Very similar to the Rams game. Remember in the Rams game when we were in wild card weekend? A play very similar to that one. But no, it's all Drew, right? It's 99% of it's all Drew. It's all Drew. Right? It's all Drew, they say. Let's look at this play. He gets hit. There was other plays here that my shout out to my boy AZ Jace for putting this on X and Twitter. There's a lot of plays like that. Every game, there's plays like that. Every game, there's plays like that. And then whoever's selling you this propaganda that it's all Drew, They are doing such a fantastic job because guess what? People are eating it. All you guys are eating it. Are eating it. And I get it. I've been on the opposite side of the coin. When I was talking to a fan of the Chicago Bears before they drafted Caleb Williams, I get it. As a fan, you don't want to go against your quarterback. I understand it. Okay, I believe it. Because when I was telling the guy, when I was doing a collaboration before Caleb and Jaden Daniels was getting drafted, I told him, you're gonna draft Caleb Williams with the first overall pick. And they said nothing but everything under the sun. That's not what they should do. It's Justin Fields. Justin Fields is the way. You just need him an opportunity. You need to do this for him. You need to do that for him. You need to do this for him. But guess what? The moment that they traded for Caleb Williams, let's get the jersey. I get it. It's a part of the fandom that you want to so badly make these guys work, right? I get it. I understand it. But sometimes you need to take the wool out of your eyes. Sometimes you need to push back and say, no, I don't think it's as easy as that. Because it isn't. It isn't. It isn't as easy as it's 99% Drew. Whoever told you that, for the love of God, please stop listening to them. Because that is an absolute BS lie that might lead to another OC coming in here. And guess what? Another 3 or 4 years for Kyler Murray to learn new footwork. Kyler Murray isn't the main problem, but he also isn't the solution. That's what we're going based off of. And is it all his fault that the Cardinals are losing? No, it's not. But when you got the tenure of being a 7-year quarterback and getting paid as much as you do, you need to take this team to another level. It's the way that I look at it. Let's go with Hector in the chat. He says, but can you really say Drew plays the strength of this team? I think it is a mismatch of a coach and players. Drew got exposed when Connor went down and has not adjusted. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying Drew Petzing, if the Cardinals this season goes awry, which it probably will, let's be real, right? If it probably does, clean house. Clean house. Clean house. There's enough going. So I'm not coming into in a sense where I'm saying Drew needs to stay and the Cardinals need to pick Drew over him. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. But I'm also not saying we're going to win a Super Bowl with what we currently have right now at quarterback, because we're not. We're not. So to answer your question, can you really say Drew plays to the strengths of this team? I think it's a mismatch of a coach and players. Drew got exposed when Connor went down and is not adjusted. Drew's got a lot of blame to himself, and that is the whole run at the end of the game. Terrible, horrible decision making. Why does Kyler Murray not have an out in that specific play? I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to know because we're on to the next week, right? Horrible decision. Why aren't you getting design plays for MHJ? Why aren't you getting plays specifically for Trey, right? All good questions. All good questions. But on the other side of the coin, there's plays to be made every single week. And unfortunately, we're seeing too many of these things happen in a consistent basis. For all the things that Kyler Murray does good, there's something that rearing his ugly head for something like that. Fausto in the chat says, say it again, it's Kyler Murray. I don't think it's all Kyler. I really don't. I don't think it's all Kyler Murray. I think it's an accumulation of a lot of different things. To be honest with you, I think it's an accumulation of a lot of different things, and that's why they can't figure it out. They can't fix it. They don't know how to fix it because Kyler Murray can't see in specific plays when players are open. Drew Petzing can't get out of his own way if the Cardinals are playing behind the sticks because it's going to be run pass somewhere, right? There's always 2 runs somewhere there. So no, I don't think it's all Kyler. Appreciate the super chat though. Another thing, yeah. Back to the Constitution. Kyler Murray's division record is 8-22. Come on, man. Yeah, when has Kyler in 7 years won the division? When? Actually, I think it's 8-24 now, or 23, including the playoffs, I think. It's either 23 or 24 now. It's actually more than 22. So, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Not good at all. You guys say we don't know ball. Whoever says you don't know ball, guys, don't get offended by that. They're probably like 15, 16, 12-year-old guys saying that. Just don't get offended by you don't know ball. It shouldn't sway anybody any specific way. Whoever says you don't know their ball or you don't know ball, they're probably like a 13, 14-year-old. Just let them be. Let them be. They don't know anything. They probably came in being a Kyler Murray fan. Like they probably came as a Cardinal fan being a Kyler Murray fan. So they don't know any different. Whoever says they don't know ball, they're probably somewhere in their teens, if not 11. So don't be offended by when people say you don't know ball. It's cool. It's no big deal. It's something that people like to say, right? It is what it is. Never won the division. We'll always be the laughing stock until we win. True. True, true, true. That isn't Kyler Murray's fault that we haven't won the division. Okay, good to know. Good to know. The Boiling Lance lost 3 games in similar fashion. That's coaching. I mean, yeah, all on coaching? All on coaching? I don't think it's all on coaching. I think coaching has a big factor as to I don't think it's all on coaching. I think the players need to execute the plays on the field. I think that is a thing out there too. The players need to execute the plays that are being called. They need to execute. That's what players get paid for. Now, losing, Jonathan Gannon, for some reason, loves to keep his timeouts. I have no idea. Don't ask me why. Jonathan Gannon is terrible with time management. He's god awful. I've already told multiple times that Jonathan Gannon ain't that guy with time management. He's horrible with that. But honestly, with the offense that we have with Trey and Marv, and at one point, James and Trey Benson, we shouldn't be this close in games all the time. The offense can't get it together. Like, there's so many plays to be made in a game, in 67, 60, 68 snaps in a game. There's so many plays to be made. So for it to come down to the end, every single game, it's a coaching issue. Yeah, you're right. But it's also a player issue. Why can't you get this offense going? Why can't you execute the plays that are being called? So I agree with you. I do think that it's a coaching issue to lose like this. But also, guys, keep in mind, the offense can't get their stuff together. Why not? Well, Petzing, the right side of the offensive line, the run game is non-existent. Tyler not executing. Petzing is an idiot. It's everything. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's all of it. Yeah, the timeout things is annoying as hell. The timeout things annoy the living heck out of me. I don't know why he thinks that they're like a Pez dispenser. He's like, or he keeps them as like my precious. Like, I don't know why. I don't get it. I still don't get it to the day. BB Roy Riz says Jonathan Gannon is 7-20 as the Cardinals head coach versus the NFC West. Yeah, that's terrible. That's god awful. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. But what's also horrible is in 7 years, 8-22, 8-23, 8-24, including playoffs. It's somewhere around those realms, regardless, right? That's also horrible, right? So if you can tell me, BB Boy Riz, that this is unacceptable, right? That you're telling me, Jonathan Gannon, this is unacceptable, correct? This isn't okay. That's what you're telling me. But then on the other side of the coin, when we're saying Kyler Murray's 8-22, that's not all his fault. Hmm. Make that make sense, right? Make that make sense. Because you're right. I agree with you. This isn't good. 7-20 is terrible. It's horrendous. If this is true, which now I'm thinking about it, if you're a coach for 3 years, you play the division 6 times, 6, 12, 18. You just lost 20. I got to relook at the stat. I'm not sure if this is 100% accurate, but you're probably close. You're probably close. Because as of right now, I'm thinking Jonathan Gannon was hired in 2023, so that's 6 games, 6 games, 6 games. 6 times 3, 18. You add 2 more games to that, that's 20. Oh, you're right. Okay, so wait. Then how is he? If we have a total of 20 games, how did he lose 20 games? So I don't think your stat's right there, BB Roy Riz. I don't think your stat is right. Because the Cardinals played a total of 20 games. So are you saying the Cardinals have won 7 out of those 20? If that's the case, you might be honest. I gotta recheck it though. Another one. The Boyle Lance. What's up, man? Why do we constantly run the ball in stack boxes? Because we're idiots. That's why. Because Drew Petzing doesn't understand. He doesn't want to get off of his philosophies of what his scheme is. That is what his scheme is. That is what his scheme is. Now, check this out, guys. Check this out. Live updates. Live updates. Here we go. Give me one second. I got to sneeze. I apologize about that. Live updates. Here we go. Tyler Drake of Arizona Sports just put a tweet out. Yes, I still call them tweets. Whatever. Sue me. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Appreciate the super chats, though, by the way, Boyle Lance. Thank you so very much. Everybody who's super chatting, thank you so much. You guys are all the real MVPs. Appreciate y'all. Check this out. We just got a live update here from Tyler Drake of Arizona Sports. So he put this out probably about 10 minutes ago. He says, as expected, Cardinals quarterback was practicing today. He and Jacoby Brissett were alternating reps, with Brissett getting first crack. Yeah, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. With Jacoby Brissett getting first crack. One thing I noticed, typically Marvin Harrison Jr. gets every open practice rep in with Kyler Murray. Today, the wideout worked with Jacoby Brissett outside of some early warm-up toss-ups. Woo-hoo. Mind Games 101, ladies and gentlemen. Mind Games 101. Jonathan Gannon out here trying to pull a fast one. Trying to pull a fast one on us. And look at that. If you look at this video again, look, there's a quarterback right there, number 19. See that? Number 19 is right there. That's going to be, I believe, Slovis or Slovin. It's that practice squad QB for the Cardinals. Woo! We got some updates here, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Live updates. So Jacoby and Kyler are alternating reps, and Marvin Harrison Jr. usually practices with Kyler Murray. Today, the wideout worked with Jacoby outside of some early warm-up tosses. I still do think Jacoby Brissett is a slight, real chance of starting. Will they win? Don't ask me that. I don't. Probably not. But it does bring a level of intrigue, though. It brings a level of intrigue of what this offense could look like with another quarterback. JMR, it started, lady Benji. No, I don't. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But will not. Nope. Definitely not. Definitely not. Somebody might be a pet. Oh man, you guys in the chat, hilarious. Hilarious. But yeah, going back to what we were talking about earlier, though. Talking about what we were talking about earlier, right? I asked a question to because we ended up having a live stream last night after we saw Jackson Dart beat the living hell out of the Eagles last night. And that's a membership exclusive, by the way. We're going to have a lot more membership exclusive channel videos coming out, by the way. But my question to you guys, Kyler Murray stands, right? Kyler Murray stands. And you guys, you know who you are. I'm not going to point you guys out. Kyler Murray stands. I want you to specifically ask me or answer this question for me. You can do it simply. You can do it a paragraph, whatever you want to do. One question for you. What has Kyler Murray done in 7 years that he got better from year 1 to year 7? What has he gotten better at? And then this is your own personal opinion. You don't have to look at stats. You don't have to you don't have to bring up highlights or anything like that. In your personal opinion, what has Kyler Murray done better and has learned that to become that top quarterback in your guys' eyes from year 1 to year 7? What is that one thing you want to lean on and say consistently he's good at this? This is what he does better from year 1 to year 7. What is that one thing that you can tell me that he does consistently better at from year 1 to year 7? What is that one thing? What is that one thing? Brian in the chat says play action. So you think that he does a lot better play action from year 1 to year 7? That's what you think he does like really good at? I'm seeing a lot of play action calls week in and week out, right? A lot of play action calls. It almost kind of feels like 85% is play action, which is kind of weird because like you need to have your run game work in order for you to use play action a lot. But I feel like Kyler Murray always does that, like almost kind of like, oh, I'm passing it. No, I'm not. I'm going to dump it down the field. So play action, okay. I don't agree, but I don't agree, but okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Evading sacks that most quarterbacks can't. Okay. That's a good one. I like that one. Do you think he evades more sacks in a percentage that he doesn't take sack? Let me rephrase this question. Because all the things so evading sacks is a good thing, right? So I will give it, but I also seen Kyler Murray sometimes do too much, like where he's doing a little too much and then he gets sacked. So now that I have that in mind, I don't know if I could I'm saying consistently, right? Consistently. I've seen Kyler Murray throw himself on the floor when he's trying to evade sacks. So I don't know if that one, that's a good one though. That's a good one. Javier in the chest is evading sacks. WTF. I always see him lose yards or lay down. Me and Javier are on the same dang page, brother. Me and the same. Yeah, it was consistently. And even if it's 85%, right? Even if it's, I get it. Nobody's going to be consistently good at one thing. I 100% agree. Even if it's 75, 85% of the time, right? Evading sacks. I don't know if I like the answer. I really do. Because when you think of Kyler Murray, you think of an explosive playmaker, right? You think of a guy that can get out of the pocket, use his legs, right? Run out of somewhere and hopefully make 12 people miss, right? I know there's 11 people on the field. I know, but still, 12 people miss. Okay. The O-line protects more when he's under center. Well, yeah, because you got more protection, right? You got more protection. If you're in shotgun and they're sending 6 at you, there's not enough bodies to block. JMR, he's really good at consistently only throwing for 5 yards. Okay. All right. So I don't think anybody here is really giving me very much to kind of say, okay, that's something he's got really good at. Robert in the chat says, I really seen not much improvement in 7 years. Kyler Murray's gotten less elusive over the years. Stop that. Stop that, fellas. Stop. We're obsessed with higher. This is what I do. I do agree with you. You're not gonna get married. I gotta admit, I've seen that a lot. Yeah, I mean, evading sack. Although he's got flashes, dude. He's got. I'm not gonna give it like that run that he ended up doing in the Panthers. Did that get the fan base excited? Did that get the fan base and everybody saying like, "Oh, let's freaking go! That's why we love you, Kyler." 3 or 4 plays later, he throws an interception. Now, yes, his hand was hit, but I don't I don't think there's anything. I honestly don't think there's anything, guys. His deep pass accuracy and all the he took a lot of offense when John Gambadoro ended up asking him about that. He took a lot of offense. He took a lot of offense. His deep ball isn't the same. He doesn't hit players in stride anymore. A lot of players have to come back and try to jump point the ball. Not seeing a lot of down the field accuracy consistently. I do see some really good ones. He had a really nice bomb on over to McBride. One of them that he oversell, but he was really close to hitting that one. And the other one that hit McBride, but ended up coming back from a penalty. So I'm not saying that it's not there. The consistency, right? The consistency of hitting those big explosive plays. There's a reason why the Cardinals only get like 1 or 2 explosive plays a game. It's just not there. It's not there. I can't wait. Y'all just saying things right now in the chat. Y'all just saying things. He's super good. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll give you that. Doesn't want to take hits. I mean, hell, I wouldn't want to take hits either, but I'm also not getting paid $40+ million to be a quarterback of the NFL, right? So, yeah. But that can also lead to frustrating things as Cardinal fans, throwing himself on the floor, losing yards. Because when he runs out of the pocket, sometimes he doesn't even know where the sticks are. He can run out of bounds, not throw the ball away, and lose like 2 or 3 yards. So then we're behind the sticks again. So like that was a level that really frustrated me in year 1 and year 2 of Kyler. But I told myself he's going to learn. He's going to get there. He's going to get to the point where he's not running out of bounds and losing 2 or 3 yards, but he's going to start throwing the ball away. Do I see that a little bit more? Yeah, I see him throw it a little bit, but still, there's still enough film out there to say he still hasn't learned 100%. Throwing himself on the floor, right? I mean, as a quarterback, sometimes you need to take that hit. And I know easier said than done. I'm not the one there, right? Easier said than done. But you're a QB. You're 1 of 32. Hector in the chat says they took the deep ball away from him. What happened to the 20+ yard throws? You know, Hector, I want you guys to really think about this. I mentioned this probably a little last year and a little earlier this year as well. Ask yourself this. Do you truly feel that the Arizona Cardinals... Sorry, let me reframe that back. Do you truly feel that this coaching staff truly trusts Kyler Murray to not make a mistake? Ask yourself. Now, I'm not saying it's good for them to have him play hamstrung. I'm not saying it's good that you're handcuffing him. No, it's not. Because it's just it leaves more confusion, more unknown for what the real issue is, right? Especially how much flack Petzing took for the run. But you can't sit here and tell me that that's what the Arizona Cardinals decided to do if they fully trusted Kyler Murray. I don't think they trust him to not make a mistake. I do not think they trust Kyler Murray. So your question, they took the deep ball away from him. They probably did it for a reason. Now, like I said, I don't like the reason if this is truly, and this is only hearsay. This is not something that we heard. This is just something that I see with actions and the decisions that this organization is making. I don't like that they're not allowing him to do it. But on the other side of the coin, I think they ingrained it in his head to put the ball where the ball needs to go because they don't want him to make a mistake. They don't want him to kill momentum of an offense that's going down the field for a guy that does not have the best deep ball accuracy anymore. Answer that question. Ask yourself that question. Do you truly think this coaching staff believes in Kyler to not make? I don't think they fully trust him. Even if it's 80, 85% they trust him, there's that 15% of the gray area that made Drew Petzing say, I'm going to run. I'm going to put the ball in our defense. That's what he did. He said, I'm going to put the ball in the defensive hands, right? He doesn't trust them. And why this offense is vanilla, right, that some people are saying, is because Kyler Murray checks down a lot. Kyler Murray checks the ball down a lot. I've seen one play that if he just waited 2 or 3 seconds, or maybe 2 seconds for a play to develop, there could have been a big play to one of our playmakers. But instead, when he snapped the ball, it was a split-second reaction. I'm throwing this bad boy to the flat. Those are the type of things that quarterbacks, all the little nuances that we don't, right? Like, we don't really have to deal with it. We just want results. We want these guys that are getting paid a lot of money to perform to the level that they should performing. I don't think they trust him. I don't think they trust him. I really don't. Let me show you that play if I can find it here. Let me show you, because where was the play at? Let me see if I can find it here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see where is it at here. And this is the last play I'm going to show here. This one right here. Okay, I got it right here. Check this play out. Check this play out right here. This is Titans. Shout out here to Teo Mackey. Shout out to him. Just look at this. Just with your own eyes, right? With your own eyes, look at this. Is he pressured? Is he under duress? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Is he under duress? No, he's not. If you allow this play to develop, look at who's here. That's Marv. If you allow a little bit more, now, yes, this guy is coming right here. So I guess I'll give you that. There's a defender coming right here. But if you allowed a little bit longer, Trey was going to come over here. Now, did he foresee this happening? Maybe. Now that I'm really looking at it again. But look at Marv's over here. Marv's wide open. Wide open. And I know it's based on progression, right? Like, that's a new word everybody's talking about. Progression, right? Progression, Mike. Progression. Why Marvin is not his number one read? The mindset of Drew Petzing ingraining this in Kyler Murray about the ball needs to go where the ball needs to go is BS. Cut it out. Look at here. Look at. Now, these guys do sink in because the ball's going here, right? So does he get this much separation because the ball's already thrown? Yeah, potentially. But Marv's over here open here at the bottom. And he's been open this whole entire time. It's like he doesn't move his head from this side of the field. But I will give you this. There was pressure right here on the left guard. There was pressure. I'll give you that. But, like, that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. Like, there's plays to be made. Full screen that? I can't because of copyright. The only way I can get away with it is this way. It's the only way I can do it to get, because I've gotten away with it doing it this way. If it's full screen, copyright gets the best. It gets me, unfortunately. I'm talking about the NFL copyrights. So, yeah, I mean, there's plays to be made. Is it all Kyler Murray's fault? No, it's not. No, it's not. But on the other side of the coin, like I said before, we do expect you to make these plays. Jamal in the chat says that's why, yeah, well, nobody's debating he should go or should not go. Yeah. Ain't nobody. Yeah, let him go. That's fine. But I don't want to be bringing in somebody else to accommodate another 2 or 3 years of, oh, we need to wait for his footwork to get down. I'm not there. Not there. I don't want to do that again. Uncanny in the chat says, you all know K1 will be the next no, stop it. Stop it. Or Daniel Jones with the better organization. Maybe Kyler in the past, not having protection. He doesn't trust his O-line, even if he, I mean, it feels like he doesn't trust it. But you also got to keep in mind, if Kyler Murray feels any pressure whatsoever, he gets happy feet. He rolls out of the pocket way too quickly. He doesn't allow plays to develop fully. And yeah, sometimes when you hit Kyler Murray, that seems to be what you need to do as a defense. If I was a defensive coordinator, rattle the cage of Kyler Murray. He will make his own mistakes. That's what I would say to my defense. Rattle him. Interior pressure is the worst pressure Kyler Murray can feel. We saw that with Jeffrey Simmons. He's a really good pass rusher on the inside. Or interior defensive pressure. But yeah, I mean, we're going to have to kind of wait and see, right? Let's read a couple more comments and we'll be closing up shop. A lot of teams, yep. Dan, we had a chance to get Dart and Scatterboo too, yep. Talked about that a little yesterday. Juan in the chat says, we'll see. Brian AZ says he's coached to check it down, in my opinion. He didn't play this conservative with Cliff. Yeah, but that also goes back to I think this offense did it that way, so he doesn't make a mistake. I agree with you though. I do think that they ingrained that in his head. I think they ingrained that in his head, and he took it to the other level of, hey, it's okay. But this offense identity is check down. That's the identity of this offense. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop right here. Great conversation, man. Great conversation. And a conversation to be had, especially when we are all talking about Kyler Murray coming back. If he plays, cool. Hopefully he can win. If Jacoby plays, cool. It does bring a little bit more intrigue. I'm not going to lie to you, if Jacoby plays, just to see a different look, right? But regardless of what it is, I want the Cardinals to win. In Indianapolis, it's going to be tough. Yes, it is. But at the end of the day, Cardinals fan through and through. Let's see what the Arizona Cardinals do moving forward. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's close up shop right here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. As always, go Cardinals.